Sometimes it's easier to help people than to help yourself. That's why it's harder to practice what you preach.
BTSW.
So, before we get into the actual quote, I just want to talk about the picture real quick. I took this picture when I was on a tour in the Bahamas at the Grand Lucaya a couple years back, when I saw these two turtles trying to come up on, tortoises coming up on the bank. And they were having trouble, obviously, getting up. But I observed that one of them realized that they couldn't get up by themselves. So what one tortoise did was kind of push the other up on the bank, and the other one that was in the front kind of held on, and then the tortoise that was behind it kind of held on to it, and they basically helped each other up onto the bank. I watched this all play out, but I didn't have much memory to record it, so I just took a picture and then came up with the quote on the spot. And I just thought that was beautiful, because like these animals, they realized that they couldn't do something by themselves, but with the help of a fellow colleague, they was able to get it done in half the time that they would have gotten it done if they even tried to do it by themselves. But anyway, that's besides the point. That's just a little subliminal message in there within the quote, my creativity and all of that. Obviously, the quote itself, I think, is pretty straightforward. However, what it means mostly is three things, really. The first thing is, people always will take the easy route. More often than not, they will always take the easy route. The second thing is, they will always help someone as opposed to helping themselves. And the third thing is, obviously, helping yourself will take a little bit longer than helping someone else. So patience is an important attribute to have in this situation, which a lot of people don't have. So because of patience, they would go for the quicker route, which is to help someone else. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about being selfish, because then people tend to help themselves before they help anyone else. I'm talking about when you help yourself for the betterment of yourself. When you help to elevate yourself, that takes time, energy, effort, and all of that, a lot of which people don't have. And then all of those 3 points kind of tie in together with the second half of the quote. That's why it's hard to practice what you preach. It's hard to practice what you preach because it's easier to just preach. Some might argue that I'm preaching right now. It's easy. All you gotta do is sit down and talk. Back to the speaking video. You just talk. But then to carry out the action, another video that I already did. To carry out the action is another story. That's like the second step, the next level that a lot of people are just not willing to do. But what they would always be willing to do is whatever is easier, whichever is quicker to get done at that time, which would be to help someone else. Now, I'm not saying that it's better to help someone else before you help yourself, because even in the plane, those of you who traveled on a plane before, they always say fix your own mask in the case of an emergency. Fix your own mask on your face before you attempt to help others, because you need to have the ability to help others before you even attempt to help others. And that is the point of this video, in case I started to lose any of you a moment ago. The point of this video, the point of this talk is so that you know that it is always beneficial to help yourself first before you attempt to help others, because the reason why you are only able to attempt to help others is because you actually can. You don't just go around criticizing people or telling them what to do and what not to do, knowing good and well that you yourself can't do it. Not just because it's the easy route and it's possible means that's the route you take. You always should at least be able to help if you are trying to help. You don't just jump right in even if in the event of an actual fire in a place of business or anywhere where they have an actual fire extinguisher, if and only if you are trained or certified to use that fire extinguisher, you go ahead and use it. Not just because you know how it works or you know how to tell someone how it works, you just go ahead, grab it, and because you might end up hurting yourself or making the problem worse. And obviously, worst case scenario, you call the fire brigade / firefighters. I don't know, it's different names in different countries, but everybody know what a fire brigade is. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, you won't try to help people unless you know you can help them. And the only way you could know you can help them is if you could possibly help yourself as well. So, although it is harder to practice what you preach because it's easier to help others, that does not mean you shouldn't try to help yourself as well. Or you shouldn't try to help yourself first.